Hello guys, welcome to my 2012 Christmas pickups. So this was, I guess, an unusual year because normally you go into Christmas, it felt like a block Christmas. Now listen, I have nothing to complain about. The last 3 years I've had some amazing pickups. Last year my wife went way beyond the Call of Duty and she got me, joke there anyway, she got me a Dreamcast and 100 Dreamcast games for Christmas/birthday. I was not expecting anything like that this year. But overall, it wasn't a bad Christmas. I'm not going to complain. It just, you know, for some reason leading up to it, it just didn't seem like the other Christmases. Maybe it was because of all the plumbing we got fixed and everything else going on right before Christmas. But let me show you the first thing I got from her. I only got one thing from my mother's this year, and it's something I put on my wish list I completely forgot about. But something's really cool to play with, and that is a Hones Tech Claymation Studio 3.0 Deluxe stop motion video creation. So basically this is a stop motion software, and it comes with a little camera with, for some reason it's shaped like a dog, I don't know, but this is just something cool to play with, and I can either do with action figures or clay or something really cool just to learn it and play with it. It's kind of cool thing to get. So this year for my wife, you know, one thing I love is something being funny. I love comedy. Every card I give has to have humor in it. That's just me. And so this year, when I opened up this book, I originally thought it was for my son because I saw the back of it, but then I saw the front of it, and I couldn't help but laugh. And that is, "My Daddy Snores." Funny little book. Anyway, because sometimes I snore, and it's just a funny little kid book, kind of a funny joke. So it's cool to have that. So as for the first game I got, the first game I got on the 3DS for my son is Wreck-It Ralph. Love the movie. Can't wait to dig into this 3DS game. See how much fun it is. So that's cool to have this, because honestly, I only have 2 games for my 3DS before I got this, so I really needed more games for that. Now this was one game I found completely by accident. We were cleaning up the basement, you know, for the plumbing, and she hid it down here, and I found it like in the bag, like one of the last things I moved, and I brought it up to her, and she told me it was for Christmas, and that was Donkey Kong Country for the Game Boy Advance. I've never played this version of it, so I can't wait to actually dig into this game. It'll be really fun to play. I love Donkey Kong Country. And the other video game related stuff, some Pac-Man Band-Aids for $1. And that's not a sticker, it's actually printed on the package, so cool to have some Pac-Man Band-Aids. Except I really don't want to use them, but it's cool to have them. I also got screen protectors for the 3DS, so don't scratch that up. Now, the game I talked about, the game I bragged about, the game I said I wanted for Christmas no matter what, and I got it, and that was Transformers Fall of Cybertron. I'm a big Transformers fan. I love the War for Cybertron. Now let me say this, one big difference between this game and the last one is that in this game you don't control the same character throughout, or you don't split Decepticon Autobot story halfway through. It is each level, chapter of the game, you have a different character to play with. Like, you start off with Bumblebee, and then you play with Optimus, Cliffjumper, and Jazz, or the Constructicons. Each level, chapter is a different character. So you get to play with a lot of different characters, and each of them have different abilities. Absolutely love this game. The multiplayer, you can customize what your Transformer looks like. Really had fun with it. I just beat chapter 10 in the game. I'm actually playing this on the hardest difficulty. I don't normally play games on the hardest difficulty, but I know if I don't, I'll never go back and play the hard difficulty. I will, like, once I beat the game, I kind of go back and start to play and get bored because I already know what's going to happen. So really enjoying this game. Glad I got it. If you're a G1 fan, Transformer G1 fan, you absolutely have to get this game. And I really do hope, by the way, that once they do get to the whole Earth part, I hope they continue on, because this is almost in a sense now like an alternate storyline. Certain things happen in this that don't happen in the show. That's all I'll say. But really good game. So the next thing I'm going to show you was the family game, the game my wife unveiled for the whole family. It was a game we talked about getting, but then she did the old, I couldn't find it, they were sold out kind of thing, but she did get it, and that was Skylanders Giant for the 360. we had the whole big pack because we didn't have a portal. This is the Walmart limited edition, so we got what, Cinder, which is the glow in the dark, which I would rather have had the painted figure, but nevertheless, this is a really fun 2-player co-op action platformer game. It has some puzzle elements you have to figure out. It has treasure, kind of like a Gola game you can collect, which you use to upgrade your character. Just a really fun, again, action platformer game. I know a lot of people look at this and say it's kidsy or they don't like the figures, but to be honest with you, since we got this game, we picked up 11 more figures, which I will show those at the end of the video. But really fun game. Really fun game. So, one last thing that my wife did give me, and this was a surprise. I didn't expect this. For a long time on my 360, I've been using the basic headset, nothing fancy. And this year she went out and got me a Plantronics X95 GameCon headset. My only complaint with this headset is that it does not come with an HDMI adapter. You have to actually buy it separate, which I don't like when they do that. If you spend $100 for this headset, or whatever it is, you should get the HDMI adapter with it. But outside that, it is a great headset. This is what it looks like. It's great to actually have, stereo sound listening to a game. But it's really cool. And the last thing I got for Christmas, I'll have more pickups for something I did right after it, and that is a Lockdown from the Bot Shots of Transformers. It's cool to have another Bot Shot. I just love the little Super Deformer Transformers. So, now it's time to get into what I got my wife this year. And there's one game I was excited about. One thing I got this year, I was so excited. It's something I've talked about for a couple years. I haven't been able to find it in the wild. This year I said, the heck with it. I ordered it online, did a lot of research to try to find the best, with pictures. I will not buy a game if it has a stock photo. I will not do that. I don't believe in stock photos. I wish people would quit doing that. But I found somebody who didn't. It was in almost perfect condition. This is a game me and my wife played a lot, we absolutely love, and that is on the PlayStation 1, War Games DEFCON 1. Now, this is kind of loosely supposed to be a sequel to the original War Games movie in the 80s with Matthew Broderick, but it's not. But I will say this. This is kind of a strategy campaign game where you have to, if your troops have to survive from one level to the next. So, if you run out of troops, you're done. And you, or if it's 2-player, can jump into any one of the vehicles you want to and play. It's a really fun game. We rented this several times, and it is awesome to have in a collection. Now, I will say, this is not a rare game, but the reason it's hard to find is that you just don't see it in the wild. It's not expensive. I would call it almost an uncommon game. You're just more than likely not going to find this at your game store or pawn shop. But again, really glad to have it in a collection. When she opened this, she went, "Wow, you found this?" I said, "No, not really. I ordered it online because I really wanted to get it for you." It was either this or Wild Arms, the first one, and I decided on this one. The next game I got for her was a game she talked a lot about. I knew she wanted it. She'd beaten the other 3 games in the series on the DS, and that was simply Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask. Now, I've never played any of these games, but she loves puzzle games. She absolutely loves these games, so she was willing to buy a 3DS herself to get it, but she could play it on mine, considering now with this, we've doubled our 3DS games, which is pretty sad when you really think about it. And I'll say this, my wife is a PlayStation fan, but like me, she has no interest in a Vita. There's just nothing to draw me to buy one right now for the price tag, and so more interested in this. And this last game I got her, I had gotten the first game of the series on the PlayStation 3, did an unboxing of it, and she eventually tried it, fell in love with it, beat the game, got the second one, played through most of it, so I had to get the third one, the final game of the trilogy, and that is Altair, was it Momoa? I know I'm probably saying the last name wrong, the Apprentice of Our Land. So she absolutely loves these games. These are fun little making things game where you just basically get the ingredients to make something. So really fun game. Really glad she likes it. So, and the last thing was what my son picked up. And this is a movie these were the movies I put on my Christmas list. because, you know, we were watching TV the other day and we're like, you know, it'd really be cool to own these again, because if I'm going to expose my son to this franchise, it's going to be these movies, not the other movies that came out for it. And that is Star Wars A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. And I know that this is the changed versions. I wish it was the original, but still, absolutely love these movies. They're awesome movies. If you really want to check out another good Star Wars half-hour short, you really should check out the Legos, The Empire Strikes Out, and The Phantom Menace. They make fun of Star Wars. They are hilarious. But anyway, really cool to own this on Blu-ray. So, I'm going to show you real quickly what my son got for Christmas, and then I'll get into something else. Games I got. So, my son is a big Transformers fan, particularly one Transformer. And he got two of them, and that is Bumblebee. And it's Robot in Disguise, Shadow Strike Bumblebee. Which I'll eventually have to get this for my collection. But basically it's a repainting of the Transformers Prime Bumblebee, which actually, you can't see it right now, but it's just basically a recoloring of this guy right here. So, it's really cool that he's got that. And the other one we got for him was the big one, the Robots in Disguise, Weaponizer Bumblebee. And you're asking, what's the big deal about this guy? Why is he called Weaponizer? Well, simply put, see this little switch right here? You push it back, the guns go down, he lights up, and that's all there is to it. A lot of Transformer fans hate this because it's a gimmick, but anyway, he loves Bumblebee, so it'll be another cool one to add to his collection. And he got two Sonic figures, a little one of the 20th anniversary Sonic, and then he got the bigger version of Sonic, because he absolutely loves Sonic. Sonic is his favorite character, which I'm surprised, honestly, that my wife didn't pick up Sega and Sonic All-Star Racing Transformer for him, because he loves the first one, but that's cool. Another gift for down the road, you might say. Maybe. So, I didn't get many games this year, and, you know, I got money for Christmas, and so, you know, I told my wife, is it alright if I go to Mega Replay and pick up some games? And she said that was fine, because, you know, I didn't get a lot. I wasn't pouting, but I just asked if I could. She said that was cool. You know, you hadn't got much, so you go ahead, because she really hasn't planned on what she's going to give me for my birthday, so it's not really going to interfere with that. And the first thing I got from a Mega Replay, I had to get the strategy guide. I have the game on the N64. I love this game, and that was Turok Dinosaur Hunter. One of my favorite N64 games of all time. You know, basically has, you know, all the maps, all the guides. So it's really cool to own this strategy guide. And I picked up the Super Nintendo game because, you know, I remember playing this a lot. And that is World Heroes 2. Now, I know some people go, well, this is just a clone of Street Fighter. And to be honest with you, this is something that as a gamer does bother me when people do that today with like Call of Duty and shooters, that like they're mimicking this. Well, if something works and people like it, they should mimic it. And this does look a lot like Street Fighter, but it is a really fun fighting game, and I'm really glad to have it in the collection. Now, the next two games I got for the NES, and this first one, I used to stare at Nintendo Power, and the cover of this game over and over again is one of my favorite arcade games of all time, and that is the original Gradius. What makes me laugh about this cover, by the way, is just the whole over 1 million sold in Japan. But I just love the artwork of this. I love to have this classic. And I got one other arcade classic that I absolutely loved for the NES, and that is Joust. Again, another fun arcade game. I actually played Joust and Joust 2 in the arcade. Really fun games. Really fun, hectic two-player. Now, I'll be honest, I got two PlayStation 1 games, and the first game I got simply because of Wreck-It Ralph. It's funny how a character comes back around after a while that you remember absolutely loving the game or the character. And that was Q*bert. And this is, of course, the newer version, which I've never played before. So it'd be kind of cool to see how this one is. How many levels does it have? I know it has a lot. But really cool to get that and try it out. And I had to get this one. I'm a big Smurfs fan. I used to love the 80s cartoon and had to pick up this game, and that is Smurf Racing on the PlayStation 1. I actually just love the old, you know, like the old cartoon artwork. So absolutely Can't wait to try to see if it's a good racing game or not. Now, one of the systems that I've ignored basically since I've got it, or not ignored, but really haven't gotten games for it, is the Dreamcast. And since I kind of already got like between a quarter and a third of the collection, I really would like to get the whole collection someday. And these games, they had that one I'd like to play, but I don't have. And the first one is, of course, there were a lot of great racing games on their systems, and this one is Sega Sports Flag to Flag. You know, basically F1 style kart racing. So really cool to get this and play, because I've never played it before. And this one just looks silly and offbeat, and it's a racing game, and it is, was it Trial Salon. It is basically, you know, a racing game with animals: penguin, shark, walrus, hippo, octopus, bird, or dog. So it'd be really cool to play this game and just see how goofy and off the wall it is, but had to pick that up. And then the last one is one of my favorite arcade games. I absolutely love this game, and I had to get it because I didn't get it on my Dreamcast yet, and that was the original Crazy Taxi. Just to listen to the Offspring and Bad Religion soundtrack, to the Kentucky Fried Chicken and Pizza in this game, absolutely love this game. Really fun game. And then the last game I picked up that day was a Sega Genesis, boxed and complete, hard driving. Again, another one of my favorite arcade games. I played this a lot. Really cool to play it on the Genesis. It may not be perfect in the original system, the arcade game, but it'll still be a lot of fun to play, because I did play this a lot. I read it a lot when it originally was out. So, now that we got all the games out of the way, let me show you the Skylander Giants we got. Now, first of all, I had the original 3 that came with the starter, which I won't show you. But then I picked up this one, and this one is a giant, and it is Bouncer. This and Swarm are everywhere. They're very common giants. The other ones I didn't see anywhere, unfortunately, but I did pick this one up because I need another giant. You know, this one's a lot like a Gill Grunt, but really fun to have a little water. Skylander. And this is the one my son wanted with this gift card. It's a Spyro Skylander figure from the first game, but he loves it, and that is Drill Sergeant. You can tell the difference between this one and the second one, because the second one, both of these are pointing up in the air, not just one. And then this is one of my favorites that I got. It is Eruptor. Anytime you can use fire is cool. And then we picked up Terrafan. Now these are all the ones that are already open. The other one I don't have with me is Double Trouble, a magic one we got. We basically have a figure for every one of the 8, you know, from magic to mechanical, all the 8 things you need to do everything in the game. So here are the ones we haven't opened that we're going to probably, you know, break out at one time, you know, surprise my son. This one I think looks really cool, and that is Flame Slinger, a fire one. And that's just drop stuff. Next one is Whirlwind. And to go with the kind of dragon theme, here is Flashwing. And to go with the undead, Hex. And then the last figure that I picked up was Slam Bam. Formed our figure. So guys, that is all the pickups for this year Christmas. Again, despite, you know, it seemed like a little Christmas, it turned out to be a really cool Christmas. A lot of fun. So my next pickup video will be probably in 2 weeks for my birthday, guys. So I'll see you for that pickup video then. Thanks for watching.